Hello and welcome to this video on dynamic markets. So, have you seen any of these recently? A proper old school digital camera, a home phone, somewhere to keep your contacts, or a cool music system? Now, not to say that these items don't exist anymore and they don't make them, it's just that markets have moved on. Markets have changed, competitors have come in with newer, better products, mobile phones, cameras in the mobile phone itself, MP4 players, boomboxes, and digital storage of contacts. So these products, you might say, have not changed with the times or have been left behind by a changing market. So in this video, we're going to look at dynamic markets and we're going to explain why markets change, the benefits of innovation, how businesses can adapt to change. So there's lots of reasons why markets change. It could do with creating new technology. It could do with the changing demographics, i.e. the makeup of society. It could do with the stages of the economy. It could do with social change or ethics or environmental interests becoming more important in causing markets to change. For example, the petrol industry. Or it could be to do with new competition coming into a market. So for example, ASOS have changed the fashion industry through their use of technology, through their website, but also through perhaps the social idea of tapping into, as seen on screen, the latest things that people are wearing in films. Saga, again, this is a company that provides holidays for old people. They have benefited from the changing demographics as the percentage of the population that's made up by pensioners increases. So this business has stepped in to cater for that changing market. British Airways have seen lots of competition enter the market and so have had to change. Maybe more concern about ethically sourced foods have resulted in more fair trade type products and businesses. And also things like low-cost supermarkets have certainly benefited when economies have been struggling during recessions and also provide competition. So most markets change over time, and this means they are dynamic. Businesses that fail to respond will lose market share, perhaps even be forced to exit the market. So we've looked a little bit there why markets change. Another reason that can cause change is invention and innovation. Invention is where new ideas are generated. This is more kind of the wacky professor approach, where something's created from scratch. So a new idea or a new way of doing things. Innovation is slightly different. Innovation is where we take a new invention and we apply it to something. So Apple, for example, are extremely good at this. You'll be interested to know that Apple didn't invent this little wheel that we see on the thing. They saw it somewhere else and decided that would be really cool to put on our new MP3 player and applied it. So businesses themselves can be involved in innovation, and that can either be through a product, so improving, creating new products, or it can be through a process, finding a better or a more efficient way of doing things to improve that particular process, for example, manufacturing. What are the benefits of product innovation? Well, by being a business that develops new products, you can become the first mover in a particular market. So you can build early customer loyalty, like Apple, like Dyson have with their vacuum cleaners. You can charge a premium price and you can grow market share. The benefits of improving, you're developing your processes, well, this tends to be things like you can reduce the cost of making something, or improve its quality, or improve your ability to be flexible, or speed at which you can meet orders. If a business fails to innovate when their competitors are doing so, they risk becoming uncompetitive. Let's have a quick look at some examples of highly dynamic markets. The first one might be the film industry. So traditionally, films were made by big, large companies, and then they were distributed to cinemas, and that was the conventional way the market operated. The introduction of streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime have severely changed this market and left some of the traditional film producers having to catch up. Think about taxi services in many cities around the world have been disrupted by mobile apps, for example, Uber or TaxiBeat. If we think about the camera market, the traditional smart camera or old camera with film has been very much disrupted by phones. The introduction of the iPhone or the GoPro would be an example here that has meant that the traditional digital camera has struggled, and companies like Canon and Kodak who haven't adapted have found themselves struggling. So let's move on to our third point now. How can businesses adapt to changing markets? So we have a market here that's changing through one of these factors. What can a business do? Well, understand what's going on. So doing market research, investment, spending money in research and development, trying to innovate themselves so they can keep up with the competition, trying to be flexible in the way in which they do things, and trying always to continuously improve their processes. We should also take a bit of time here to think about risk and uncertainty. So when we're responding to a change in a market or we're trying to change ourselves to get a competitive advantage, we talk about business risk as the possibility that something could go wrong with our plan. So if we invest resources and those resources are lost or wasted or there's no end product, then that is a risk to the business. In terms of uncertainty, what we mean here is a lack of ability to predict exactly what will happen in the market. So we're uncertain about the future in the market because a new competitor might enter or a new technology might be invented. That means that our technology is not used anymore. So risk we associate with the business's strategy, and uncertainty we associate with the market itself. And obviously with dynamic markets, there's a fair deal of uncertainty. That's it. Thanks very much for listening.